like I go after Representative Mahoney and Representative Norton, and they cover so much of mine. Representative Mahoney and I are practically kindred spirits, so thank you for your comments. I didn't even get a laugh.
Well,
So,
I'm refocusing my opinion of you as we speak.
you can applaud now.
I'm waiting for that, the heart shock.
That's right. No, this is nothing real big. I just want clarification, Representative Baker, and just a couple things for right now. The first point is on sections 8 and H and I on the underserved and unserved areas. Since it makes reference to something else, I apologize if this is already, but does it clarify one of the challenges that we're running into is there's a difference between the optimum speed of what a provider is carrying and what the actual speed is. Meaning, in my area, I actually do not, in my town, I don't even qualify for underserved, I don't believe. I can tell you that the real numbers that we have in my area are woefully inadequate. So, and then my understanding is that the rating is determined by what they say that their optimum speed is, what they've been able to spike at one point or another. So my first question to you is does this clarify that at all? And if not, can we work on that a little bit?
Mr. Chair and Representative Miller, it does not really address that technical side of how to actually get the speeds to what you have been sort of promised. That isn't really covered here. I think part of the problem with that is, again, just the rural complexities of running line and running copper and using different forms of it to kind of deliver what they say they can. I do believe that companies, when they're saying it should be a 10-1 or whatever the speed goals that they're trying to tell you is not purposefully misleading, but I think they are also knowing that if nobody else is around and on the internet at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're probably going to get that, and that might be the only time you get it. This bill really doesn't address a lot of that stuff. That might be something more so for, again, technology needs, but the more we get the broadband and the fiber in rural Minnesota, and as the technologies improve, I believe each year you're going to see significant improvements of, when they say a meg is a meg, it'll probably be a meg down the road. But this doesn't really clarify a lot of that stuff right now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and that actually segues into my, I'd like to talk to you a wee bit later about this, but as you say, you're massaging this into the future for future committee hearings. I have a concern too about the incumbents getting first right of refusal because of what we just addressed there. I think there's going to be a discouragement to people coming in and try to compete. I believe competition is good, and that wasn't the intent of what you did with the incumbents. I appreciate that, but one of the things that I understand is that because the incumbents, for example, they have a rating that fits certain things with their copper going up to the house, it discourages the competitiveness to make sure that they get their speeds up. And if they have first right of refusal, and maybe I'm misunderstanding how that's written here, when I hear first right of refusal, I hear they're going to say, yeah, we want that. But if their speeds aren't really what they're saying they are, and they have the first right of refusal to do a certain service area and stuff like that, we're kind of caught in that catch-22 that a lot of the small towns out in rural Minnesota are facing. So I know you understand that. I just kind of wanted to touch on that now, and I'd love to be able to talk to you about that more offline in the future. Thank you. Mr. Chair, thank you.
You know, the internet is wonderful. Somebody just passed along that the state office building for the house has an 86 megabyte download and a 66 megabyte upload. So we're asking Greater Minnesota to get by on significantly less. That's the problem that we have, and I do understand the desire for I want people to understand that what we're offering to Greater Minnesota with this bill, and unfortunately with the bills that went forward from the past, because we did have a lower number of work. This is not all that different. It's a bit different now, but we're serving Greater Minnesota. We have an opportunity to really push this. You know, that $85 million that the feds are being asked, we shouldn't just use that to get internet. You should use it to get good internet. Because if you're a food processor trying to sell commodities or buy commodities out of greater Minnesota, you need to have high-speed internet, and you have to have it really high speed, because you're tied into Chicago or Minneapolis or any other commodity markets. Or if you're on the range trying to sell iron ore. We're all trying to do that now. But that's where I'm kind of got my concern at the number. And I think we're going to get the bare bones, and our greater Minnesota communities need better than bare bones. The other thing is the internet, because they sent me a little note saying that this bill, and the way it's written, it's almost impossible for a city above 3,300 people to get grant. So that does eliminate a whole bunch of them. We need to figure that out if we can.
Thank you, Representative Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have to take issue that there's no community here that is preventing an application to come forward of any size if their numbers are in line, if they want to put an application in. Again, we've seen underserved areas being granted already. I don't think that's going to stop. We just don't want to take our eye off the main focus at the end was supporting even a 10-1 speed, even though that's slower than our state standard right now. If that's, I've got folks in Candioi County that would absolutely be flipping happy if they could get 10-1 right now, because they have nothing. They would be so happy. And I think what I'm hearing from all the providers, they're putting in better equipment, better future capabilities once they get a 10-1 out there, and then it'll be 25.3, and then it's going to be gigabytes and whatever else is next on the horizon. They're pretty smart private people that know how to get the equipment ready for future growth. And I think that this bill does nothing about eliminating folks from coming to apply for this. And I think that the more the better, because a lot of that scoring also depends on more hookups. That's a good thing. That's more economic development, which is I'm all about in greater Minnesota. So this bill should do that. And again, Mr. Chair, what we may want to do too is, I know there's an amendment, and I've got a number of testifiers here today too, so we want to, at least I don't want to run out of time.
One more comment. The only thing he left out was satellite.
Representative Baker, I think that's coming also. And we're looking forward to that. And Representative Johnson.
Mr. Chair, I apologize for being late. My wife was down with her CPA day, and she insisted I go with her for lunch.
It's something that we got to take care of.
Representative Baker, I want to thank you for bringing this forward. And I like the idea that he has the unserved areas being a priority. For those of you who don't know, if you drive 32 miles from where we're sitting, the only type of internet access they have is dial-up. That's in Anoka County. And in my area right next to that, the dial-up doesn't even work hardly at all. We have businesses trying to perform businesses there. That's where the problem is. We have too many unserved areas that we need to get to. As mentioned about the federal grants that are coming, I think it's good. I believe it's good to have that situation where we have the federal money coming in